Hey everyone, I just wanted to give you a quick update on what I'm doing for my own training, especially now that gyms have reopened and I have more access to equipment again, and I can start to work on some of those areas that were a bit neglected during the shutdown. So basically I found that when I was mainly focusing on just calisthenics, body weight training, ring exercises and flexibility, all those things, I was able to maintain most of my strength in regards to the upper body. However, lower body strength, especially hamstrings, glutes, and I'm including lower back in that as well. I found that those were the areas where I lost most of my strength and size. Now, I found that I was only down maybe 5 or 10 pounds on average from my weight towards the beginning of the year. In the beginning of the year, I was actually in somewhat of a bulking phase, you could say. And I think I gotten up to around 225. And right now I'm sitting around maybe 214, 215. So I'm looking to get my weight back up, but obviously do it in a gradual, steady progression, so I'm not risking any kind of serious injuries as I recondition myself to using those heavier weights. So I recorded a couple of clips from a recent workout that I just did. This workout, I'm not trying to max out or push any sort of heavy weights, because right now I don't even know where my strength is at, to be honest. So I'm taking a few weeks to just recondition myself to some heavier training while still continuing my body weight movements and calisthenics. And then gradually I'm just going to be increasing the intensity and obviously increasing my caloric intake along with that. So check out these few clips, and then I'll be speaking a bit about what I'm doing nutritionally as well. So over the past couple of months, I actually cut down the amount of calories I've been eating and protein too, just because I hadn't been training in a way that was as demanding. And from a metabolic standpoint, there wasn't as much need to bring in that many calories. So number one, save some money, especially since a lot of us were down on income during that time. But number two, you can't just maintain muscle mass by overfeeding yourself. All that's gonna happen is you're gonna put on fat mass and you're gonna end up having to do more work later on to take that off, assuming you wanna be lean. But now that I'm kind of in a more regular routine and I'm doing some heavier training as well, I'm starting to increase my calories again. So basically, initially all I recommend doing is just eating the same good foods, meaning whole foods, good quality meats, vegetables, fruit, rice, potatoes, things like that. For the most part, I stay away from bread, wheat flour. My stomach doesn't respond well to that. But basically, sticking with the same types of foods and just increasing your portions. You don't gotta do anything crazy. You don't need to start eating, double cheeseburgers and whole pizzas or anything like that. Just the same good foods in good, micronutrient ratios, but consistent and a little bit bigger than you normally had been. Okay, now in addition to that, if you find that you're increasing your calories and you still aren't quite getting enough, or you just don't have that much of an appetite, then one strategy I recommend is doing what some people call a cheat day, or you could call it just like a high carb day or a carb up day. It's a theory that is kind of promoted in the carb cycling diets too. I'm sure there's others that I'm not even aware of. There's a ton of diets out there now. But basically it just involves taking a day, or for some people just a meal, or maybe even a half a day, whatever works better for you in regards to how much weight you need to gain and your current body fat level. So you're taking that period of time to really get in a lot of carbs, and it's gonna allow you to increase your total calories as well. Now the key is you don't wanna do this all the time. If you do it all the time, then you're probably just gonna end up putting on body fat, you're gonna feel sluggish, and it's gonna set you back. But just doing it periodically, so for most people, about once a week, is a good strategy to help get past that sort of plateau if you're stuck at a certain body weight for more than 2 or 3 weeks. You can't seem to get past it. Adding in a couple of those high carb days is a good strategy. So I have been bringing protein shakes back into my diet as well. I'll primarily use them post-workout to help speed up recovery, and every now and then I'll have a protein shake in between meals if I feel like I haven't been getting in enough calories, or if I just happen to be doing extra workouts during that day or that week. So over the years I have tried all sorts of different proteins, regular whey protein, every kind of plant protein there is out there. And I find that the one that actually works the best for me comes from goat's milk, okay? So like a goat's whey protein. This one compared to the whey protein from cow's milk, for me is much easier to digest. I don't get that bloating and inflammation that I tended to get whenever I had protein from cow's milk, and also it's high in branched chain amino acids and essential amino acids. The problem though was that most of the goat whey proteins that I had used were not exactly the best tasting, which is why I decided to come up with my own blend called goat whey and coconut milk, which is a goat whey protein blended with an organic coconut milk and along with a few other natural flavors, so natural vanilla bean and cocoa. And I really like this one. It's a very nice tasting protein that you can blend with all kinds of different fruits, and it's something that doesn't give me any sort of digestive upset. So that is also a staple for my bulking routine, because the last thing you want is to take in a lot of protein or any kind of food really that tends to upset your stomach and cause inflammatory issues. A lot of people don't realize, but a lot of these inflammatory issues, if you're getting very like gassy or bloated from eating certain things, it can actually lead to joint pain and joint issues if you're having them all the time. So a lot of people, another food that is a common issue for a lot of people is wheat or other sorts of grains that contain gluten. Now, personally, I've been sticking to a gluten-free diet for about the last 10 years or so. And I can tell you that for me, when I have a lot of gluten in the diet, I'm getting more achy feelings, stiff joints, elbows, knees, wrists, all that. It can slow down the recovery process and make you more inflamed. So it's really important to keep in mind the quality of the food and supplements that you're bringing into the diet and how it affects your body.